Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Team Dinner. My name is Jack Maloney, and my guest today is the one, the only Beef.
How's it going, everybody?
Beef Eats First on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you get your food content.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we are eating Italians from New Deal Fruit in Revere. And we are excited. We're hungry. I've been making them just stare at it for like 20 minutes now while I've been chatting.
Yeah, I had one bite.
And we're gonna have a drink from Chattermark.
Chattermark, yeah. Absolutely.
Shout out Chattermark.
Shout out Chattermark.
So
yeah, that's a 5-year single barrel. It's our oldest stuff right there. Some good bourbon.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, perfect.
Give it a little bit.
Yeah, so that's barrel proof, so strong for sure. So just beware.
And manufactured in Charlestown.
Yeah, made in Charlestown. Made from New England farm ingredients, which is pretty cool. We're partnered with a farm up in Maine, a farm up in New Hampshire, right at the top of Maine right there, which is cool.
Awesome.
So,
cheers.
Here we go.
Wonderful. All right, let's get into the fun stuff.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Question we've been starting everyone off with recently is best recent meal. So you can go back a year, you can go, a year plus to the beginning of 2025, let's say. What's the best meal you've had recently?
Yeah. I think immediately I think back to the end of 2025, so not that far ago, but Season to Taste in Cambridge. I have this kind of little food series that I've been doing that's quickly turned into one of my favorite food series, probably other than the sandwiches, and that's the Farm to Table series. I found that farm to table cooking is some of the best cooking in and around Boston, and I think maybe it's from just growing up in New England in general, appreciating different parts of New England, the farmers, everything that it takes to run a restaurant, everything that it takes to get the ingredients. And Season to Taste in Cambridge, I believe it's Chef Sam Day, and there's another chef there who's really good that I'm forgetting his name, but that was one of the best meals I've had, period. I use, the food app Belly a lot. Yeah. And that's immediately in my top 10. I had a fantastic salmon toast, crispy ribs, great drinks. Everything there was just
top notch,
beyond good.
Yeah.
And it was my first video of the Farm to Table series.
Yeah.
And since then I've been to, Woods Hill, Fallow-Kin, and Cambridge.
Yep. All
of them spectacular, but I think that one was special to me, and it was just really, really good.
Yeah, I love it. I've been there. I grew up in right outside Porter Square, so not far at all.
Yeah, not far at all.
I've gone with my parents on a special occasion. It's great. It's great. I love those. I agree with you. I love those type of places. We've had a couple chefs, lucky enough to have a couple chefs that do that kind of work on here, and it's like that, like managing every ingredient, kind of soup to nuts for them is like totally. It's a lot of work, and they put in a good deal of it. So
yeah, and I think even as far as like the wait staff and everybody that works there, it's impressive because you'll ask them what one ingredient something is, and they know the exact farm that it comes from. Yeah. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. I had Aaron Chambers on, who has Bernadette and Settler in Salem.
Okay. Yep.
Really, really sort of good, sort of Michelin trained guy, and he stressed that like he doesn't love the cost of food. Like he feels the cost of food like everyone does, right?
Totally.
And so a thing that he's like, so like if we are gonna, if we need to turn a profit, we have to charge X, Y, and Z. If we're gonna charge X, Y, and Z, like our hospitality has to be amazing. Everyone has to know everything. Like in it, he really sort of preaches that level of hospitality, in part because he's like, if we're gonna charge this much, which we have to be in business, we need to deliver that much, right? And I thought that was a really good and fair attitude to have on it. So
yeah.
All right. Very good. Now, you're going to notice that it's a little challenging to eat sometimes. So I'm going to keep asking.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have guests who don't eat it all. Sometimes guests eat the whole thing. And so go at whatever pace you'd like.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. But I'd love to jump back if we can.
Yeah.
And start with the beef origin story.
Yes.
How we got here.
I know. It's a funny name.
and I'd love to know that. And then I also love talking about, people like yourself who like, how did it start with, turning that camera around and your food story and your food history and kind of how you sort of found making content and And yeah, that's just like kind of start from the beginning and
Yeah.
let's cover as much as we can.
I love that. Yeah. So I'm originally from Stowe, Vermont. Born and raised there. Elementary, middle, high school, college. Went to the University of Vermont in Burlington, and I got the nickname Beef in middle school. Funny enough, and I think a couple. It was just probably like literally a meme.
Yeah.
Funny enough, and
Yeah.
I know that's you say the word meme and stuff like that, and older generation are like, yeah, okay, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess you can just say it's a joke.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a guy that always, for some reason, would say, like, oh, beef, beef, beef. And it was, like, kind of a cartoon.
Yeah.
And two of my friends and I kind of picked up on it, and we thought it was funny. And we were calling each other beef.
Yeah.
And, I'm a big guy, and I think it just stuck.
Yeah.
So I'd walk into, math class or something, and someone would say, oh, here comes the beef. And I'd be like, yeah, let's go. So I'm, a very loud individual, would always make my presence known.
Yeah.
And beef stuck. And I went through high school, was obsessed with sports, basketball, baseball, soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, I think the beef nickname like really stuck because when I was out to bat, everybody was yelling beef.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to play baseball for the school next to me because my high school didn't have baseball.
Uh-huh.
And it was actually our rival school. And I thought the nickname wasn't going to survive there. It got brought there because of a basketball game against them.
Yeah.
Like, the kids on the baseball team heard people calling me that, and they were like, what gives?
Yeah.
So beef continued then. I went to college, and I really thought it was going to die. And I had one friend from high school that was kind of like in the same circle of friends as me.
Yeah.
And we were in the same fraternity and everything. And obviously he's going to call me.
Yeah.
He's literally the one who came up with the nickname.
Yeah.
He's, one of my best friends. So he kept calling me Beef. And I liked the nickname. I thought it was funny. I think my parents did not think it was funny.
Yeah.
My name's Colton, and a nice Scottish name. Last name Cunningham, so pretty Irish.
Yeah.
And my father, I think a lot of times was like, why are people calling you Beef? Every time I explained it to him and my parents in general, I think they were like, all right, that's kind of silly, but it'll die out.
Yeah.
College, then I started bartending, worked security floor, and started DJing.
Mm-hmm.
And my stage name was DJ Beef.
Sure.
So they were like, so this thing is never
Yeah,
gonna die.
yeah,
it's gonna be on his grave.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's what it's gonna be. And then I moved to Boston after college, picked up the phone to record.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved photography.
Mm-hmm.
Always loved food.
Yeah.
Have watched a lot of food shows growing up. Love traveling. Like to learn about different stuff. I feel like in Vermont, loved growing up there, but it wasn't very diverse.
Uh-huh.
Stowe itself was a little bit of a bubble.
Yep.
If that makes sense. There wasn't a lot of cuisine options other than
Yeah.
American cuisine. So when I came to Boston, my girlfriend and I made a list of every time we wanted to go out, we wanted to try something new.
Yeah. Good.
Because money's tight.
Yeah.
Paying for my student loans, everything. I wanted to feel like I wasn't like wasting my money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I picked up my phone, literally just put food to music.
Yeah.
And I didn't do enough research. I literally thought I was the only guy that was like a food influencer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't know about the, Mikey's What Did You Eat Today? Key, DeVito,
Yeah.
all those guys. Didn't do enough research and then started posting and quickly realized I was not the only one, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I think my world on Instagram, like the algorithm or whatever, started to show me their accounts, and I was like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? I stopped for probably like a solid 6 months, and then picked it up again. I wasn't really having any growth, whatever. I wasn't really doing it to have growth, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to keep going when nobody's really watching, other than your parents, friends, your girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
And then New Deal Deli, one of the reasons I asked you to bring the sub. I think I probably wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for New Deal Deli.
All right.
And I don't know if you saw that video. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was, ranking, or not ranking. It was 5 sandwich shops that I had been on my like Sunday sandwich series, Sunday Sandos. And I said that the New Deal Deli was in East Boston.
Yeah.
And I think the entire town of Revere, city of Revere, whatever, came out with pitchforks. They wanted my head on a spike.
Yeah.
So I got pretty much crucified for that.
Yeah.
And, one thing leads to another, and that video ended up, 700,000 views, whatever, which was nuts, because I think I had 200 followers at the time.
Yeah.
And woke up, a couple days later to, I think, 2,500 followers.
Yeah.
And I said, I made a mistake doing this. People came for me. I think enough people, though, thought I was, like, kind of funny or whatever, could articulate food enough that they would follow. And then it started growing from there, which is pretty funny.
That is funny, dude. So that was an honest mistake.
Yep.
That became your launch pad.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I've seen people who, like, social media influencers who, like, say, like, they spell a word wrong, right? Because it gets people to, like, comment or something.
Yes.
Like, so that makes sense.
I know. There's one famous video, and I remember it was a chef making something, and he has an avocado, and he, like, takes the pit out, and he's like, oh, the little wooden ball.
Yeah.
And it has thousands of comments, and people like that do it on purpose. And I'm not usually, like, a fan of, like, rage bait stuff.
Yeah.
I like Twitter.
Yeah.
And, social media, of course. And I'm usually like, oh, like, rage bait is killing the internet. And here I am with where my launch pad was essentially that on accident. I was like, of course, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not rage bait, right? It was that is very funny. I remember very clearly that video.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that basically is the recipe, though. Is like trolls rule the world. Right, like we are being ruled by trolls because they are the best at navigating the internet. So, if they can do it on purpose, certainly you can benefit from one time, right?
Yeah, because you think about like food apps and like review apps in general, like Yelp and stuff, and a lot of the reviews on there are the negative ones that dominate the space, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a good experience somewhere where it's not like the best experience you ever had, you're probably not going to go on there and rate something on Yelp, right?
Yeah.
But if you had a terrible experience, you're probably going to be on there saying something about it, if that makes sense.
Dude, still to this day, the most viral clip that has been put out, in fact, it was clipped by other people and posted, is Christian Chopstick Murphy's. It's the first clip I ever posted. So I don't know what that says about the content I'm doing, but the first thing I ever posted a year and a half later is still the most viral, which is we had been talking about literally kind of this is how people get mad at him if he says like my favorite Mexican in Boston is Felipe's in Harvard Square.
Yeah.
And everyone in the comments like, right? And so we had been talking about that, and then I asked him his death row meal, and he made a callback joke and being like, it's Pikaichi in the Boston neighborhood of Medford.
Okay.
But so if you'd been watching the full thing, you would have understand that it was a callback joke to earlier, but the clip, it doesn't make any sense. And it's like very obviously a joke. And it just, comments went like crazy.
Yeah, they went nuts. It happens.
No, it works. There's more I want to talk about, but I also want to get into these questions because I'm excited to
let's
pick
do
your
it.
brain on some stuff. So
absolutely.
You can pause, maybe have a sandwich bite. I've been teasing you for a while here.
So what was this? Was this just the classic Italian, or is it like a spucky there?
I asked for 2 Italians.
Okay.
With everything. I hope that's okay.
No, that's perfect. Sometimes I know, like, I didn't know about the whole spucky thing until moving here and that stuff. So sometimes I'm just like curious what they name it and all that. I think when I went, I had the Big Bambino one.
Oh, sure. They have, it says spucky.
Yeah.
I just asked for an Italian. Because I've been here a few times, and I've always just gotten it. I've actually never gotten anything there that's not an Italian. And tonight I was like, should I get something else? And
no, the Italian's classic. It's good.
All right, so this is actually, I'm going to start you with maybe my most important question tonight,
all right.
which is, as a sandwich aficionado, if you had to pick your Mount Rushmore of Massachusetts sandwich shops, so your top 4, what are you picking?
Oh boy. It's such a tough question, but it's the best question. I love Mount Rushmores. They're the best. I think every Massachusetts Mount Rushmore, starter has to be the Modern Butcher in Danvers. They're probably the best sandwich shop in New England. I mean, they do unbelievable work. I have yet to make a video there, and I can't wait. I've had their sandwiches. I've been kind of like testing the waters, and everything I've had there is absolutely spectacular. They deserve every, sort of award they've gotten. That place is amazing. Number 2 for me on my Mount Rushmore list of sandwiches would be the Square Deli in Everett that we were just talking about. A lot of places in Massachusetts will call it a steak and cheese. They can call it a cheesesteak. You know what I mean? Like, it's so darn good. The bread maker there is one of the greats. I think his Instagram is like Breadhead, and he deserves the claim because his seated roll is spectacular.
Yeah.
Number 3, it's gotten some recognition on the show, as I've seen, is Figaro's downtown.
Yeah.
With Rosie and that staff.
Yeah.
They're incredible. There's a reason a place like that can, be open only during the weekdays for a couple of hours. It's because their sandwiches are top notch.
Yep.
And the people are top notch. So you want to go back there and support them. And number 4 for me is a popular one in the city, and that's Table Mercado with General Oil.
Yep.
The table sandwich with those chicken cutlets is exceptional.
Yep.
And I know it's, sometimes people like me will be hesitant to name something that's, super popular and trendy right now. I kind of want to stay away from that to kind of like be quote unquote different.
Yeah.
But those sandwiches deserve it. That was like, I think the second sandwich I ever had moving to Boston.
Yeah.
And it was 3-4 years ago before it completely blew up. Changed my life.
Yeah.
That sandwich is top tier, 100%.
Very good choices. Been to all of them.
Yeah.
Love all of them.
Absolutely.
No notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, very good, man. Very good. And then the next question off that, which is maybe harder, which is, do you have a single favorite sandwich in all of Massachusetts?
Yeah. It would probably be one of those, but, going off of Bourdain, right? Ooh, I'm nowhere near. Nobody is, right? Yeah. I love when he talks about how, your best food comes with the experiences.
Yep.
If I'm going to talk about my best sandwich, it's probably from one of those shops, but I want to name something different.
Sure.
And that's going to be from the Parish Cafe in the Back Bay. They have James Beard, award-winning chefs, designing their entire sandwich menu. Yeah. After 10 p.m., those sandwiches are half off. The Fox from the Chef and the Fox and the Knife, who's Michelin recognized. The Mistral that steak sandwich is phenomenal. The onion rings there and the beer there, fantastic. Sit down at the bar, go with a buddy. Have a sandwich there. It's lights out. I mean, you can't have anything better. So that for me, I will say is probably where I'd get my top sandwich, and I'd probably get the Fox with that breaded pork cutlet. The chili, the arugula on the focaccia bread. It's really, really good.
Very good. I like that. That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So then we're going to stay on the same theme.
Yeah.
We're going to move a little earlier in the day because I know you cover breakfast sandwiches as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if we're looking at breakfast, what's the best or your favorite breakfast sandwich?
There are 2 spots that come to mind, and you probably know what they are, obviously. One of them I did a video recently, and the chef there, I think it's Sarah Murphy at Vinyl.
Vinyl, yeah.
Is wonderful.
Yep. I love Vinyl.
And then Sunny Girl is one in my neighborhood. I live in the North End.
Yep.
And both of those places, to me, have a battle going on. They don't know it. I know it, obviously.
Yeah.
And they both make homemade English muffins that are to die for.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of, differentiate myself where, I love to pick favorites. I love rankings. Yeah. Lists like that. To me, those two are so neck and neck. Yeah. It's like a photo finish.
Yeah.
So I would lean Sunny Girl because the perfect breakfast sandwich to me, you're able to roll out of bed on a Sunday when you've had a couple of beers Saturday night, or you're just hungry, whatever. You're able to walk 10 minutes and get your breakfast sandwich. That's the perfect breakfast sandwich for me. So Vinyl would probably win it if I was, in Somerville next door. Yeah. But Sunny Girl wins it, and it's with their Sunny Girl sandwich, the homemade English muffin, sunny sauce, avocado. It's to die for. It's ridiculous with their farmstead bacon thick cut. Yeah. It's amazing.
I love it. I lived about a 7 or 8 minute walk from Vinyl.
Yep.
For 3.5 or 4 years, and it was also during the pandemic when everything was a pain in the ass, and so you could press, and they turn the sandwiches around so fast there, so you could press order on your computer or your phone, walk down. I lived up the hill, walk down the hill, and it would be handed to me.
That's amazing.
It was awesome.
You can't talk about better service.
It was awesome, and it was especially in a time where that time we're going out to eat was kind of like a pain in the ass. Yeah. They were such a godsend. So yeah, I love both those places. I as a former Somerville
you
resident,
lean Vinyl.
I lean Vinyl.
I mean, it's not a bad choice, obviously.
I lean Vinyl. I've interviewed Sarah before, and she's awesome. So,
yeah.
Very, very good. Okay. These are good. You're getting my wheels spinning.
Yeah, yeah.
So, keep going. This is a hard question, which
Okay.
is what we call here a perfect day of eating.
Okay.
So you get to go anywhere in Massachusetts.
Yep.
But actually, we'll do anywhere in New England if you want.
Okay.
But it's a perfect day of eating. So you have to get your perfect breakfast, your perfect lunch, and your perfect dinner, all within the confines of New England. Where are you going?
Okay. Let me think for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
So my perfect breakfast is, other than a breakfast sandwich, is kind of your quintessential diner-like place. You can get the pancakes. You can get, an Eggs Benedict or kind of the full American breakfast.
Yep.
Tucker's in New Hampshire by Lake Sunapee. And I'm forgetting the name. I think it's New London, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker's out there is literally that to a T. There's always a line, but it's worth the wait. The blueberry pancakes are amazing, and their Irish Benny, fantastic. So I'd be getting that, and I love that it feels like you're kind of in the woods.
Yep.
Like that's where I want my perfect breakfast. The second would obviously be a sandwich shop, and I was thinking about this. I would probably go to. I have a couple of college buddies that own the Paisani food truck.
Yeah.
That make sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I love their drunken parm sandwich. With eggplant cutlets and the honey ricotta, the honey whipped ricotta on there. That sandwich is amazing. And so that's a big already, breakfast and lunch.
Yep.
So to me, I'm like, with this exercise, I can't get full, just to be clear.
That's right. You're going to take a long walk.
Yeah, because usually when I have a big breakfast like that, I'm, taking a little bit off until dinner.
Sure.
But with that big food, or those big meals, next I'm probably going to go to Fallokin in Cambridge. Season to Taste was excellent, and we talked about that, but Fallokin as well was amazing. I'm not a huge vegetable eater. My nickname's Beef. So for me to talk about their vegetables means they're top-notch.
Yeah.
It's the best vegetables you'll ever have. Just what they're able to do with them is spectacular. I had great leeks, carrots.
Yep.
Trying to think, this wonderful terrine salad that was really good. And then their chicken dish with it from a local farm was amazing. So that meal to me, sitting at the bar, having that, being able to talk to, their staff, who's really, really good.
Yeah.
Ending that would be kind of my perfect day of eating.
That's a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good day. On that question, I should have said before, we traffic no longer exists.
Right? Okay, yeah, you can go anywhere.
The first time I mentioned that, someone was like, "Well, I'm not gonna be able to get there." It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Suspend belief for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a helicopter or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are great answers. Great answers.
Thank you.
All right. So then the next one would be, and this is, listen, there's a lot of similarities in this question. So if there's overlap, please, you're allowed to overlap.
Yeah.
I want the rules are, we make them up as we go along.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I ask a lot of the questions are similar, but different.
Yeah.
Next one is your death row meal.
Okay.
So you're here in Massachusetts. You're gone tomorrow.
Yep.
What are you eating?
Whenever I think death row meal, I think steakhouse.
Yep.
And I don't know why there's a connection there. But that's always what I think. Maybe it's because when I go to a steakhouse, I'm feasting, it's a special occasion.
Yeah.
I'm not going every night. So I'm going to Mason Steakhouse in Quincy. I'm getting a filet. Their lamb chops are phenomenal. Mac and cheese, truffle fries, Brussels sprouts, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And then they have a famous pastry chef there, Bobby Robbie, I believe, who's been on Food Network for his pastries. They're not just pastries, they're legitimate work of arts. Yeah. So I'm going out eating one of those desserts. That's how you know what I mean? That's how I envision it because they're so darn good and I'm drooling thinking about it, but that's where I'm going.
I've never been there.
It's phenomenal. It's in I believe it's in an old masonry building, which is why it's Masons.
Yeah.
I remember in the video I made for them, I said it was in an old courthouse and immediately got slammed, of course, by some lovely people in Quincy.
Yeah.
But I think it's in an old masonry place. So it's a beautiful building. It's ginormous.
All right. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I'm really not familiar with it though. So
you should absolutely.
I gotta go.
It's top notch for sure.
I look at Steakhouse and I agree with your assessment on. I have this, and I don't think the way you articulated it was I actually think I feel that way too. That the end of days would end with a steak.
Absolutely.
So
right?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you putting words to these thoughts in my head. But that's a very, very good. And when we get off here, I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Because
it-
I'm not a huge wine drinker either.
Yeah.
But I can see myself with a nice fillet and a big red right there.
Carafe.
Yeah.
You're gone tomorrow.
You're gone
right?
tomorrow. Yeah, you're doing it.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so now this is a pivot question, which is because of the time of the year.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day next week.
Yeah.
The
best.
Do you have a favorite or an Irish pub that is maybe to you? I don't like to say favorite, right?
Yeah,
Or maybe
'Cause
your
they're all
favorite.
so good.
They're all good, but like
They're all so good.
if I were to tell you, the first Irish pub that comes to mind for you to go enjoy a pint around here, where are you going?
The first thing that comes to mind is Emmett's downtown.
Yeah.
I went there, around Christmas. I don't know if you saw a video. I was dressed as an elf.
Yeah.
That could have been anybody, obviously.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed,
Yeah.
I did.
And I walked out of my house dressed as an elf.
Yeah.
So embarrassed,
Yeah.
obviously. I'd ran a 5K in it the day before. Everybody was dressed up, so it wasn't embarrassing.
Yeah.
Walked out of my house immediately mortified. Kids taking photos of me, all that. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This video idea is baloney.
Yeah.
I go to Emmett's to calm my nerves to have a Guinness, and the waitress there was phenomenal. And I went there. I've been there on a huge rainstorm. The last two winter storms that were massive,
Yeah.
I went there that day because I knew they were open, had a Guinness, because I can walk there from the north end. Emmett's, to me, feels like you're in Ireland in the best way, and I've been obsessed with Ireland ever since visiting. They have a great pint of Guinness there, and I don't know if I would necessarily go there to, party, go out necessarily, but for me, it's more of a late evening, great place for a pint. You don't want to go on your phone there, which I love.
Yeah.
You want to talk to the people. The bartenders are friendly. They have really good food, good live music.
Yep.
Everything about that pub is what you want.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we had Oren on. Who's
great
one of the
spots.
partners of that spot. And
Yeah.
I agree. Emmett's is great. It's like, it's awesome. And it's great too, because like they took it over, that ownership group, right? So it's like, it's been around for like a long time, and it is, I think the Dubliner and McGonagall's obviously have a lot of fanfare, but like Emmett's is like, it's such a quality spot, and it like kind of like somehow flies below the radar a little bit, as much as you can, which is maybe just to me, but I agree. I think Emmett's is an awesome spot.
We're so blessed with Irish pubs around here. Like when you ask that question, so many things come to mind, right? Like Tavern at the End of the World, On Sabine, Druid, JJ Foley's. It's the list. Like it feels like it goes on. Even when I like name them all like that, people are like, "Oh, you forgot about this one. You forgot about this one." Like I went on a Guinness tour with my friends where we went to, and I named 5 different spots, and all the comments are complaining that I didn't go to their favorite spot.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a favorite Guinness.
Yeah.
Which is, or just a pint of beer, or just a place to sit down and enjoy people's company. It's pretty cool.
I agree. And I hope those places can stick around, right? Like those places are important. There's something really cool about, again, when I lived in Somerville, I lived very close to Tavern at the End of the World.
Yes.
And not far from the Druid.
That's a special place.
Yeah, it's like you walk into those places and there's like the session musicians playing. It's like, that is a very cool thing that a lot of places don't have.
Yeah.
And we are lucky to have them. And I hope they stick around. I hope more pop up. I'll tell you what, I was at the Druid Saturday night. 2 weeks ago, and it's always crowded. It was like sardines.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, God, luckily we somehow had got there like 6 seconds before the rush.
Totally.
And we were like,
it's the best time to get somewhere.
It was like 2 seats at the bar. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. We sat down, and then within seconds, we were like smushed up against it. And my wife was like, God, it's so crowded. I was like, you know what? I'm happy for them, right?
Yeah.
Like that. This is good. This is, people are out. They're socializing. This is good for the society. This is good for the bar.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So piggybacking off of that, right? We talked about best plates for a pint, for a beer.
Yep.
If you're going to go out with your buddies, you're going out, you're going to tie one on.
Yeah.
You're going to
having a night.
Having a night.
Yeah.
Do you have a spot that would be, top of that list?
Yeah, I think if you would ask me that question 2 years ago, it'd be different than what it is now, which is hilarious.
I think it should change every 2 years for the rest of your life, right?
100%. I think 2 years ago I would have picked more of like a like a dancing spot.
Yep.
Louder music, more like rap music, stuff like that, hip hop. And now being able to go somewhere with my friends, either play pool, have an activity to do. People are talking, people are socializing. There's music, and it's still loud, right?
Yep.
But it's not like deafening.
Right.
That's my ideal bar, and it's a place that I don't have to wait in a line. Obviously.
I agree with everything you said so far. Yeah.
So Tom English Cottage in Southie.
Yeah.
I think it's been brought up on the show before, but phenomenal bar. When you can get in there when there's not a line on like a late Saturday night, because it's become so busy, and I think it always has. And I'm, what I mean, moved to Boston 4 years ago, so might be kind of a newbie when it comes to that, but I've never had a bad night when I'm able to get in there and either play some pool, just have some beers with my friends, have a table spot, have our own section. Never had a bad night. That place is phenomenal. The bartenders are great. The community that goes there is great. I've gone there before on like a Tuesday night, just to have a beer, play some pool with some friends, and they have their locals that still go there, have been there forever. And they want to talk to you. They're not the type of people that are kind of like pushing out that you hear with Southie, obviously, because they'd have every right to push me out. I'm from Vermont, right? I'm not a Bostonian. I believe I am now, but like to them I'm not, right? Because they've been around for a while, and they're so nice, and they want to know what you do for work. They want to know, about where you live, stuff like that. They're all talkative, which I love, because I don't think enough people talk in bars anymore. And that's kind of the whole point, going out to socialize, meet new people, talk about experiences. So Tom English Cottage, A1 for sure.
Great choice. So then this is a question that I actually quite like this, because we've talked about all the places you've been, but I'm always curious about, because new places are jumping up all the time.
Yes,
there's just places
absolutely.
Like for me personally, like my list gets almost longer, right? You can't check things off.
It gets
fast
longer
enough,
every
right?
week, yeah.
So what is a place, we're still in the beginning of 2026. Is there a place that is highest on your list for like need to try this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think literally the sandwich place I'm going to tomorrow has been on my list for months. We talked about Rob Martinez, makes great videos. He recently came to Boston, shot a video, and he went here, and I was like, oh, of course, like the place I've had on my list, want to go. The Green Hills Irish Bakery in Dorchester. I want to have their Irish breakfast sandwich. It's going to be my Sunday video.
Very good.
Can't wait to have that. High Rise in Cambridge. And then probably my white whale that I said walking in, Urban Hearth with Aaron Miller. Because of that Farm to Table series, I've become addicted to farm to table restaurants in the city and around the city. And I mean, her restaurant is probably known as being the best farm to table restaurant, obviously, because of the, Michelin recognition, which I know a lot of people have arguments about if Michelin's good, bad, whatnot, but it's cool to see a restaurant like that recognized. And I can't wait to go try her meals, because I've heard it's fantastic, for sure.
She is, big Aaron Miller fans here at the show. She's wonderful. She's, I mean, in terms of like sourcing, she grew up foraging. She has like this knowledge that is remarkable, that I think no one has it, right? Like she grew up in Virginia with a grandmother who foraged, right? Like that was just, it's kind of like in her DNA. It's really awesome. So I saw on Instagram, maybe for next year you should do it, but she does a 100-mile meal.
I think I saw that. With the chef from Frankie's in Burlington, maybe? She
partners, I don't know, I can't remember who it was this year, but she partners with a chef. And the reason, this is why she's awesome, is because it's, we are abundant with crops in the summer and the fall, right? She specifically does, so that meal is every ingredient comes from within 100 miles of the restaurant. So that's like the concept.
It's amazing. Which
is in September the easiest thing you could possibly do, right? You are lush. You have everything. She does it specifically in February because that is the hardest time. Things that root vegetables, and it is like, so she's so good at what she does that she sets this thing up, and then she puts the date in like the most challenging time of the year.
It's amazing.
To make it hard for her. And
she loves the grind.
She's awesome. She's awesome. So, and then next question.
Yeah.
So you've done this it was a belly burger series, right?
Yeah,
right? Which
absolutely.
Was
The
top ranked burgers. Which
yes.
Is,
Yep.
I mentioned before. I was like, this is just. I'm curious because I like burgers. I don't think there's more places on my list I need to try.
Yeah.
So you've done this series on trying to try all the best ranked burgers.
Yeah.
What learnings have you had? What coming out of that? What's your favorite burger?
So the burger series is my most like exciting series right now in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I love just on a random night going with one of my best friends, Jack.
Yeah.
We go and we both wear the Boston hats, so we always say B is for burger, which is cringy, absolutely. But I think a burger says a lot about a restaurant because it's something that's super simple, like just like a sandwich, but can taste so different and can you can add different ingredients. The bread is obviously important, whether it's a smash burger, a normal burger. I'm more of a fan of the traditional kind of like thick patty, the type of meat you use, everything. My findings so far has been Boston has a lot of good burgers. I do think some of the burgers can be overrated, but I do think there's some underrated spots that I'm excited to show off because now I've kind of gone through this belly list of the top rated ones.
Yeah.
And some of them are more of kind of the floofy, like expensive burgers.
Yeah.
But my favorite burger so far, it's funny, every time I go to a burger spot, me and my friend Jack come out of it and we say, it does not compare to this place, no matter what, even though it, blew our socks off. And that's Moonshine 152, right off the Broadway T stop in Southie.
I've never been there.
Chef Asia May, her name is kick-ass in the best way possible. The best buttermilk wings and the best burger of your life.
Wow.
It is incredible. And it's a huge patty. I got the double there and almost couldn't finish it. It was like bigger than my head.
Yeah.
And it was the first video I made speaking. And my friends and I just went there on a whim one night, not even knowing kind of like the Southie like legend behind it. Because people love that place now.
Yeah.
And I believe she won a James Beard Award or a Best of Boston Award recently, which is awesome for her. She doesn't have social media for her restaurant. She just relies on word of mouth and relies on incredibly good cooking. She, helps cook everything, brings the meal out for you. She does a burger of the month and then just her standard burger. She does like animal style burgers, all that. I think she did like a corned beef burger around St. Patrick's Day. And that's the one. That's like, I want to get through a bunch of burgers and then go back there to compare it again because I'm just like giddy talking about it, if that makes sense.
All right, shit, it's on my list.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of that place. I've not been, but I don't think I realized the game.
The game is there. She's LeBron of you know what I mean? Like
all right. Cool, man. Well, listen, I'd love in closing here to sort of like what are you looking forward to this year? What's new for you? What's next? I know we alluded to Nesson. That's incredible, right? Like what's kind of what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to this year? What's next?
This year, I guess, I recently started a couple months ago my new job. Looking forward to that. The whiskey distillery. I'm helping kind of grow the brand on social media and out doing sales. So meeting people that way has been a blast. Getting into the social media scope, I've kind of now worked my way into different social media events, stuff like that. Being able to meet different people at different restaurant groups, different PR people has been really cool because you kind of you also get to meet other. I guess I always hate the term influencer, but it's kind of what it is, right? Other influencers, all that. So you get to meet all those people, and I think also last year there was a part of me that was a little disappointed with some of my content, and that was kind of the ones where I think I was chasing. Once you hit a point of followers and people watching videos and stuff like that, I think. And people know this by now. You start to get some invites from restaurants to come in, have some food, tip the server, but that's like all you pay, which is very nice. And as somebody who's paying my college degree off, I'm like, this is great. Yeah. And I think for a couple months, got like kind of obsessed with that because I was like, this is so cool. I can like go and like make a video and not spend like $100, like whatever. And it kind of took me away from the whole point which I started was to show off like smaller businesses. Stories, stuff like that. And And your videos, Rob Martinez that we've talked about a lot. Johnny Novo in New York. I don't know if you've seen him. He does, rotisserie chicken stuff, which is hilarious.
Yeah, Market Basket was the first thing I saw, and now he keeps popping up. He's very good. Yeah,
he's very good.
Yeah.
So I almost want to find like my happy medium where, yes, I can still like go, enjoy a dinner at a nice restaurant, and make a video for them and talk about it. But I can also still go to these neighborhood spots, interview some people. They can talk about their story. I can help show it and eat the food. So I kind of like want to find the middle there. So I've been pretty fired up about that. That's
good,
that's definitely kind of my main focus right now. For
good.
Sure. Yeah.
Balance.
That's
right. That's what we're all seeking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And finding the best burgers.
That's right.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's and I feel all of those things too, right? Which is the shiny objects are tantalizing, right?
Oh,
but
100%.
But if it's not getting you kind of filled up inside, it's not worth a lot. So I appreciate that point of view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we are very excited to see all that comes.
Yep.
We are going to keep our eyes peeled for burgers and fairway franks and sandwiches and whatever's next. So
thank you.
Please, you come back anytime. You're always welcome. Appreciate the time. And
thank
Colton,
you.
a pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.